The 5 Love Languages. Hi, welcome to Bilingual Family TV, the place to be if you want to create meaningful relationships with your child while learning Spanish. As we get closer to meeting Mateo, it is even more important for John and I to have a strong relationship. And that's something that it's just so important in order to really create a harmonious life for your child is to have a strong relationship with your husband or your wife. And one of my favorite books to help with relationships is The 5 Love Languages. We did not read this book until about 4 years ago. So we lived our married lives for 6 years without actually knowing what our love language was. But it was a night and day game changer for us to understand how we received love best. This book is called The 5 Love Languages. It was written by Gary Chapman, and it's been around for decades. It's one of the best books on relationships. And it really does look into your psychology and how you accept love, because the way that you show love and you receive love can be so different to your partner. And so you may be doing all these things that you think are showing them love, but they don't receive them in that way. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, physical touch, and quality time. For example, my love language is acts of service. It's the very top. I get 11 points out of 12. So it's the very top love language, and my lowest is gifts. So in the beginning of our relationship, John could be giving me all these gifts, and it didn't make me feel loved. Maybe it made me feel uncomfortable. That wasn't my love language. And on the other hand, I would be doing things for him because my love language is acts of service. So I would be doing things for him, maybe organizing his closet, or just doing things that I felt were showing him love, and he didn't receive it in that way. So that's why it's so important to understand your love language and your partner's and your child's love language. I will just walk through what each love language means. They're pretty self-explanatory, but acts of service could be anything. I mean, it could be filling up your wife's gas tank, or doing the dishes, doing laundry, just doing something that is unexpected, or that they really need help with, but maybe they don't want to ask for help. It's just an act of service. And I mean, all the love languages are pretty self-explanatory, but that's acts of service. Words of affirmation. Just letting them know how much you appreciate them, or things that you enjoy about their personality, or things that you appreciate that they do. Just letting them know through words that they mean a lot to you, or that things that they do are noticed and that you value them. Gifts are gifts. And they don't have to be expensive gifts. It's just that physical thing that reminds them of you and reminds them of your relationship. So it could be, a bag of chips that you remember from your first date, and you just bring a bag of chips that reminds you of your first date, and that's a little tiny gift that's meaningful to your partner. Quality time. Obviously, when you're having a conversation, making sure your phone is put away, making sure that you are completely present and in the moment with them. That's really important for people whose love language is quality time. And physical touch. Now, this doesn't have to be sexual in any way. It's just when you're walking at Walmart, walking at Target, holding hands, or putting your arm around your wife or your husband, or just randomly while you're in the kitchen hugging them. Just little things that you're touching constantly. That's what physical touch is. So my challenge to you is obviously to read the book, but even before you do that, you can Google 5 love languages quiz, and there's actually you can do it for yourself, you can do it for your child, you can do it if you're in a relationship or if you're single, and it takes no more than 5 to 10 minutes to do this quiz, but it'll be a real life changer. So I encourage you to take this quiz, read the book, and really find out how you can strengthen your relationship with your partner, because when you are strong, you can really create a harmonious and loving environment for your child. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, give it a super me encanta, share it with your friends, and if you want even more resources, head over to bilingualfamily.us and sign up for our newsletter. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, second language acquisition is all about relationships. Adios! This is Mateo at 36 weeks, 9 months. Woo.